So I'm live streaming at the same time. So hi out there in social media world. I do have a fabulous group of faces that I'm so excited to see. It has been way too long since we gathered. And I miss tea and stones, so here we are at CommuniTea. Yay! Hi, welcome. Who didn't get a flyer? Pass these back, please. Pass 3 back. And so for you out in, just pass that over that way, in social media world, if you want, I have a little handout, and I have a little recipe. So if you want what I have, just private message us, and we'll get them emailed to you tomorrow, okay? So, this gathering is going to be a little bit more eclectic than Tea and Stones was, because we were just focused on rocks. And then I focused on rocks for 3 years, right? I'm rocked out. So, what this does is leaves the doorway open for me to talk about anything I want, and I hope that you like that. And I have such a breadth of information on so many different topics. Who knows what I'm going to offer you every month? I don't even know. And I hope you don't have to know, because if I have to figure it out in advance, it might not happen. So if you trust me and you like what you hear and see, you'll just keep coming, and it'll always be fun, and it'll just be fabulous. And I think more than half of it is that we're just here together as a community, feeling that good vibe, in this safe space, and I really appreciate that. And I hope for those of you who are at home that you have your glass of wine or tea, whatever it is, and that you're in a nice quiet space and that you're able to relax while you're watching. So, for our first CommuniTea, the weather didn't cooperate, because I went from wanting to do violets, making violet tea and whatever, then lilacs, and then I was like, oh, everything happened so early, including the bugs. So I'm going to show you how to make your own do-it-yourself bug spray. And conveniently for you, we sell the kit. But it was just happened to be like, oh my God, we have this bug spray kit. And it was the perfect topic, because I was doing gardening and getting bit, and I was like, that's what I need right now. So it's always about me first. I needed a bug spray, and so here we are. So it makes me have to talk about essential oils. So has everybody taken my essential oil class or my aromatherapy class? Oh, good. So then all of this will be new to you. Or a refresher if you work with essential oils already. So essential oils. Why do you want your own bug spray? First off, let me tell you that, is that when you buy a bug spray at the store, you're getting 100% chemicals. And you're putting it on the biggest organ on your body. You are saturating your skin with awfulness. And it will repel the bugs, but it's also repelling your health at the same time. Whereas if you make your own out of essential oils, not only are you repelling the bugs, because it really does work, but you're enhancing your mental abilities, your skin, you're going to be calmer. It's just so fabulous. So there's lots of benefits from using essential oils, but especially when you want to coat yourself, especially if you have little ones, right? Like, it's just so awful. These bug sprays are awful. Anyway, okay, so making your own creates a holistic experience for your body. And the bugs, let's think, they're going to die with a great smell. That makes me feel better. But at the root of aromatherapy are essential oils. And essential oils are the soul of a plant. It is taking the absolute truest essence of roots, herbs, flowers, what else? Flowers, herbs, shrubs, things. And extracting that essence out of them, mostly in really good ways. Mostly it's cold pressed, some are distilled, but it's a healthy way. And so they've created a really highly concentrated essence of the plant. One drop, this is how concentrated it is. One drop of pure rose oil is equivalent to 30 roses. That's insane, but that's true. I've seen photos, especially old photos where they were making oils, and the piles of rose petals are just enormous. It's so beautiful. But yeah, that's what it is. One drop is 30 roses. So you don't need a lot, all right? They enter into the body in a completely holistic way. They stimulate hormones. They activate things in your body to trigger your body's own system to become activated, your own immune system. It's a beautiful process. And then they leave the body easily. Like there's no resistance, right? It just enters in and leaves. It's beautiful. Your olfactory glands are the oldest gland in your senses, right? We developed our sense of smell first before we actually even stood up. We needed to smell, right? And when we stood up, it changed how we smelled because we were smelling the ground and looking for prey that way. But when we stood up, our olfactory glands changed. And then our eyes became important and hearing became important. So the olfactory glands developed way back when in the cerebral cortex of your brain. So it's our oldest sense that often we ignore, right? But it's so important. So when we smell something, it triggers nerve endings in our brain. It's attached to memory. When you have a smell that you love, you can think of all kinds of things. But when you smell something that you don't love, you can think of that too, right? So with essential oils, even if an oil is good for you, if you don't like that smell, it's going to not work for you because you're going to have a negative response to it. So know that there's always a replacement for that particular oil. You don't have to use this ones you don't like. So they actually, different from perfumes and candle scents and things like that, they change the chemical compound of the air around you. They don't mask a smell. They change the space. It's an interesting thing, right? They actually change the chemical compound of the air. And it's because in this little teeny bottle, in one tiny little drop of oil, it can have hundreds of chemical compounds in it, naturally created by the plant. So it interacts with your atmosphere. So they're perfect for clearing spaces, just do everything with. I love them. What else do I want to tell you about essential oils? It's really not about essential oils, it's really about bug spray, but. And if you at home have questions or you need me to repeat something, I have somebody monitoring it who actually can respond, so I can answer your questions at home, even though I can't see you. Do we have people watching?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hello out there. All right. So, what else do I want to tell you? That's it. You have a good little handout that tells you a little bit more about essential oils, which is really nice. So in the bug spray, I have my own recipe, and I'm going to share that with you. And I use 5 oils: sage, citronella, geranium, lavender, and rosemary. And I want to tell you about all those oils, okay? 2 or 3 of them are also from the Thieves Blend, right? Which is kind of cool. So everybody can have one of those recipes. And if you actually choose to buy the kit, It's in the kit. The kit comes with a nice little card. You can take a little notes. The kit comes with the bottle, the oils, a dropper, because you have to get it out of here. And it comes with some stones, because everything I do seems to have stones. This has to have stones. Let's talk about the lavender first, because you're going to make a bug spray with these oils, and then you're going to have oils. Well, what else you can do with them? Tons of shit. Tons and tons and tons of things you can do with these oils. Lavender oil is probably an oil, if you don't have it in your cabinet, it's the one oil you must have in your cabinet, because it is got 160 plus chemical compounds in it. 160 that they know of, and they're still finding more. But let me read you this list of what it is, what lavender is. Anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antibacterial, antiseptic, antispasmodic, it's a diuretic, a nervine, an antidepressant, an antitoxin, a deodorant, a sedative, a stimulant, a bactericide, something for pain relief, anticonvulsive, this means help cells grow, whatever that freaking word is. It is an insect repellent. It is an anti-rheumatismal. It's a parasitic. It helps blood flow. Some of these words are like medical words that are way too big for me, okay? Just bear with me. Anti-migraine. Can't read my own writing. It's lots of other things. The list goes on, but their words are too big. So it can do all those things. One little teeny bottle, one little drop. So it's magic. They first discovered that it was good for healing skin and burns. Some doctor burned himself in the, whenever, in the 80s, 1800s. And no, it was World War I. It was World War I. In France, it was Defosse. Yes, gust of someone. And, excuse me, no offense, whoever he was. But he discovered that he spilt a bottle of lavender on himself and he had burns. And it healed the burns. And they actually did a lot of healing of soldiers during that time with the lavender because they were burned. Whatever warfare we were using at the time was burning them. So it's really good for healing wounds, healing the skin, getting rid of scars. It's fabulous for migraines, rubbing one drop on your temples, relieving stress. What's nice about lavender is that it balances the system. If you're too high, it brings you down. If you're too low, it brings you up. It's a natural balancer. One of the authors that I have studied with over the years has said that it connects to Mercury. And they call the Mercury a neutral planet. And I was like, what? Mercury kicks my butt. But it's a yin-yang planet. It's a balanced, energetic planet. I don't know. And that's why she felt that lavender was so balancing, because it connected to that planet. Just a little bit of interesting information to pass on. But so lavender is just incredibly important to have in your stash of oils. So that's one of the main ingredients. It's 20 drops of this in my recipe. But again, you don't have to write the recipe down because I got it for you. What else? Citronella. Of course, we all know that citronella. You knew I was going to say that, right? That citronella was in here. So besides being a great bug repellent, it's a strengthening herb. So masculine herbs, yang plants are strengthening. They, that kind of grounding, solid energy. That is what citronella is. So it's going to be doing that for you. It's going to give you that, right? And it's really good for your skin. I had no idea. I was like, oh. So when you're spraying your bug spray on, you want to rub that shit right in, right? Because it's really going to be good for your skin in this funny way, right? Citronella will also clear your mental faculties. It's like a breath of fresh air. And that's going to be true for all these oils. So that's kind of a fun thing. Like you're going to spray yourself for bugs, and you're going to be like, ta-da, here I am. Come bite me now. Then we have geranium. Either you love it or you hate it. It's one of those herbs. And if you hate it, then you don't put it in, right? That's the nice thing about making your own spray, is that you put in what you want. And if you want more of this or more of that, you just do it. So the recipe is just something to guide you. There's no, like, you have to do it this way, which I love. So the geranium is an antiseptic, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and an antimicrobial. So this would have been good pre-pandemic, but it's good to know that these are things that are going to support your immune system. You're just boosting yourself up. You're protecting yourself in this interesting way. So that's geranium. Then there's lavender. What else? Sage. Antibacterial, antifungal, antiseptic, antiviral. Sage is fabulous. And we all know that sage, not only just white sage, right? We all use white sage for clearing energy, but sage, kitchen sage, herbal sage, has been used since the beginning of time for cleansing herbs, for clearing. It clears the mind. Not only is it clearing your space, but it clears the fog from your mind. That sage and rosemary have both been found in ancient Egyptian graves. Right? And they've talked about them and written about them since antiquity in rituals and in happenings, unfolding. So they were used to clear the space, and while they were doing that, they're raising your vibration. They're clearing your head for going into ritual. So that's a nice addition to that. So sage, anyone who's over 50 will like to know this, that it helps with hot flashes. So, for those of you who are flashing away, just get your sage, douse yourself with a little sage, and you can put the sage in with, in with the water and just spray yourself with that. Yes.
Katrina would like to know if it works for ticks too.
Oh, Katrina, I love you, girl. I don't know. Ticks are a whole nother thing that I don't know about. I just know about things that fly and you want to swat them. Yeah, it's really about mosquitoes. I'd have to do a whole nother level of research to find out about ticks. Does anybody know that? The thing I know that is good for ticks is, sadly, DEET.
Back in the day, it was skin so soft.
Skin so soft. I wonder
because
what
of
was in
the
that.
oiliness of it. Because ticks are like the little, they like do the. I'm doing this. They do like the claws of the grass,
Yes.
and they cling as opposed to like. So it's about their climbingness. So I'm thinking part of the oiliness is helpful to not have a tick on that.
Interesting.
The citronella will.
The citronella will? Oh, okay, good.
But
So,
check. Keep checking.
so citronella. Citronella is good for the ticks. All right, so you add a little bit of extra citronella, and then you know you have tick protection. Wear socks inside your pants. That's what I want.
And do chink checks.
Isn't that awful? Not that I ever do, but I'd rather the tick bite me.
Use a lint roller when you come inside too.
A lint roller when you come inside.
Because they're so small, if you roll your clothes with it, if you have any on, it'll pick them up.
Wow, good info. Thank you.
And it's animal safe. It's recycled.
Yes. So, well, I don't know that. I don't know that either. You'd have to. I don't know.
I don't think citronella is good for cats.
And lavender is not good for
And
lavender's
lavender.
not good for
Dogs,
cats.
it's okay because we used to have something for our dog with these similar ingredients, but cats, no.
Yeah, cats don't like anything.
No.
Because they're really not from this planet. Cats are something else. Cats are a whole different breed.
So I like to rub on dogs that have ticks on them. That's real fun.
kills things. But I'm not sure if you can put cedar oil on your skin. Can you?
So what's going to happen is you don't want to put any of the essential oils directly on your skin except for lavender. And I put patchouli on my skin, directly on my skin, some vetiver, some of the more earthy things I put on my skin. But you have to be careful, like there's hot oils. And then once you do your oils and you have it on your hands, be sure you wash your hands before you go to the bathroom or before you touch your face, right? You touch your eyes, touch your lips, because they're hot. Cinnamon, clove, peppermint, any of the mints, pepper, actually black pepper we sell. So you don't want to put those on your skin directly.
I was going to say lavender and chamomile you can also use neat.
Yes, chamomile. So those softer, gentler oils you can use directly on your skin. But again, you only need one drop. You don't need to slather yourself. You're not going to massage yourself with an essential oil. You always want to have a base oil. We're going to use water and witch hazel for this bug spray. But if you're going to make a roll-on for yourself of this bug spray, or you wanted to actually make an oil and not a spray, you could blend your blend, make it, and then add it to jojoba. Jojoba is actually a wax that's a liquid, and it stays on the shelf forever. Its shelf life is very long. Sweet almond oil, you got a shelf life of a couple of years. It's much lighter, which is better for a massage oil. But if you're just doing spot stuff, jojoba is my recommendation as an oil. Neither one of them have really any scents, but jojoba is a little thicker. It's kind of cool that it's a bean resin, a bean wax. It's a funny thing. Okay, so sage also clears your mind, right? So everything's clear in your head. And then rosemary. Rosemary is also a strengthening herb. So we've got 2 or 3 herbs that are really going to make you solid, make you feel more centered and more from your solar plexus. All right, this is where the strengthening herbs get you right here, because you're this is where we put out. This is where our yang comes out right here. All right. Okay, clear head, memory, all those things. So the oils are going to be so good for you and kill all the bugs. All right, so this is what happens. You get my little recipe. I'm going to actually do the recipe exactly. Never use plastic. Essential oils eat plastic. It's awful. It even eats the end of the dropper if you have it too long. All right, so always use glass. This is a PET bottle made especially for essential oils, because it's not really plastic. It is, but it's PET. Because you don't want to carry a glass bottle around in your pocket. You don't want to carry it around when you're hiking. You need a plastic bottle. So you use PET. And always have purple. All right, so our oils come with this little thing on it. Let me show up here. See this little thing? See that little thing? You know what it's called? It's called an orifice reducer. Say that and not giggle, okay? All right. So ours come with orifice reducers. You can take them out. You can shove a butter knife in there very gently, pop it out. Shay has this little tool that oh my God, Shay's tripping. I say her name and she trips. She sticks this little pointy thing in there and pops it out. I don't know what the pointy thing came from, but somehow she found it in the toolbox. She pops it out. But what happens with the orifice reducer, what am I looking at? Lavender. If you turn it upside down, that's one drop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I need 20 drops. Super simple, right? All right, so 20 drops of lavender. So now if I didn't have a recipe, and even if I did, if I was doing this for the first time, this is what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm spilling on people's things. All right, it doesn't matter, right? Is I would say, I'd write down 20 drops. I'd put in 20 drops. Because if you think you're going to remember, next time you make it, you are never going to do it. You're never going to remember it. All right, so write down 20 drops. Because maybe later, I want a little bit more lavender, right? But I'm only going to put in 20 now. And then 10. Was that you used the lavender?
Might have been geranium.
No. It's good. Excuse me. Time out. Please hold. That's good. All right, now it's 20 of that. All right, and then for the sage, it's only 10 drops. The total recipe is like 55 drops of oil. So you want to know that that's your max, is 50 to 55 drops. You're not actually like rubbing this on your skin, you're spraying it on. So 50 drops is, you want it intense. If you're gonna make a roll-on, remind me to tell you how to do it differently for that. But for this spray, we want a maximum of 50 drops, 55 drops. Geranium, I'm only gonna put 10, but if you don't like geranium, put in 1 or 2, right? And then carry on, you're gonna get the essence of it. I love geranium. All right, rosemary, oh, it's only 5. It's very, very strong. But if you like rosemary, you put in a little bit more and a little less something else. This is how you just, it's like a culinary experience with oils. You're just gonna go, oh, la 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 la, right? But you're gonna keep track of it so that you know how much you've got. Start with less and then add more, right? And then the citronella is 10. All right. And if you have more than 50 drops, you're fine. Again, you can't freak yourself out. This is not that kind of science. Oh, it smells good. And so then you sniff. Oh, it smells so good. You know, I'm going to pass this around for a second. Just be careful with it, all right? So the fun of this is that you create your own. And if you don't like the smell of this, then you adjust it. Now it's too late. But you could make more, right? So you could add to this. Say you put 100 drops in that jar. Then you have enough for 2, right? So you can always continue to play. Just keep track of it and then make a final note of what you put in. From this base, for a roll-on, for the regular roll-ons, 10 drops. 10 drops only into a roll-on, because you're applying it in a different way, right? It's much more dense when it gets into an oil. With the spray, even though you're going to wipe it on, it's still diluted in water and witch hazel. All right, and so it's a little easier. It's not like coating you. When you put a roll-on on, you're coating yourself. So you 10 drops. And you're never going to massage yourself with this oil, so I'm going to talk about that. But massage oils, for an ounce of oil, it's like 15, 20 drops. Again, you're coating your skin with a base oil, so you don't need that much. Your skin's going to absorb it in every little cell, so you just need so much less. All right, so now this is my 50 plus 55 drops. In here is 2 ounces of spring water and witch hazel. I love this bottle of witch hazel. Let me see. This is my favorite witch hazel because it's got the girl on the front, and she's got her witch hazel in her hand, and this is fun. It's been around forever. Humphreys witch hazel. Now witch hazel, it's astringent. super, super good for your skin. Right, so another thing that this compound is just great for your skin in general, all right? So witch hazel is a shrub, give me a shrubbery. And it's, only a few got that. It's healing, it's soothing to the skin, witch hazel is. It's also cleansing and clarifying. So again, you're adding another fabulous beneficiary to your body, to your mix. So it's 4 ounces. You've got a 4-ounce bottle. Now, like I said, I included everything that we do has stones in it. So these are rose quartz. Today I said to Shay, why are we putting rose quartz in the bug spray? Who are we loving up? So I decided it was ourselves. But you could put clear quartz in it. You can put anything you want in it. But we're giving you rose quartz. All right, sending those bugs love. All right, and then you're going to get your dropper. Because you will never pour this into this. That's not how that's going to go. Don't even think you can. Because you can't. So you always want to have a dropper around. All right, so you drop it in. Now, droppers are actually very, very easy to clean. Don't be nervous. Don't wash it. You don't wash it with water because it's an oil. You can't clean it that way. I wipe the outside with a tissue, and then I put a pipe cleaner through it, and then I carry on. I'm not a freak about contamination and bacteria. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Antibacterials.
Yeah.
Right. So a tissue through it is all you got to do. Right, and then I put it away, put it in the closet. Bing, just like that. That's how we store ours. It's just like that. And then you pour in. I did not do it on my paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Funny how my mouth is moving like, oh. Okay, I could add a little bit more water. It did say 4 ounces on there, and this is a 4-ounce bottle, but it didn't fill enough. All right, doesn't matter. I'll figure that out. Ta-da! There you go. And that's it. And so all you need to do is shake it before each time you use it. And at some point you won't even need to shake it. They become, it just kind of, either oil and water, they never will become one. But it still smells like that. It smells good. And label it. Definitely label it. They don't come with a label. But you'll say, oh, I'll remember that I put the bug spray in this bottle. No, because it's going to smell so much like your Thieves Blend that you go, oh, which one is it? Yeah, always label it. I always make that mistake. You know how many amber bottles I have in a box going, I sure do wish I knew what those oils were.
And put a date on it with the year.
Yes.
Because I've done that where I'm like, how old is this?
Yes, a date, so that the date and the year. And yeah, and then carry on. This is good. This will last you a long time. This is at least the season for us, maybe a half a season if you have kids. Yeah, and that is how you make it. And then you end up with these extra oils. You have 5 more oils, or if you don't like some, you don't have to buy them all. But get at least one oil that you really like, and then you can just use that, right? And then have a holistic way. And then when you come to outdoors events like June 21st, we're going to be doing a solstice, which we've been doing for a very, very long time. We've been doing the World Prayer event where we get together, and it's been 3-4 years. We've been getting together at Vassar Farms on that night at 6:30. You have to bring non-commercial bug spray because no one else wants to smell that aerosol nastiness. So now you have a bug spray you can bring with you, and what we do at that event is that we, let me think about this. We say prayers. We send out love and light to every country in the world. And Bella is often our MC because I can't pronounce all the countries in the world, and Bella can. And you get a sheet, and it has all the countries listed. And we say for every country, may peace prevail in the United States. May peace prevail in Uganda, wherever it is. And we do it more than once, 2 or 3 times, because you think it's a long time, but it's not. And we invite your families to come. Children are very welcome. We bring your blankets. We hang out. It's a short ceremony, really not even an hour. And then we drum the sun down. So that happens on June 21st. It's a Wednesday. And the following week, we will gather again here for something magical. I don't know what it's going to be. Even before then, can I tell you something else we're going to do? Let's see. The first thing that's coming up, we have in-store readings. We have in-store readings this Saturday with Risa. They're 15 minutes, and we have slots, so you can either make you can make your appointment right online, so you're guaranteed the time you want. So that's this Saturday. The following Sunday is water ceremony at the river. That's a short half-hour, not even a half-hour event, and children are also welcome to that. And we go down to the river by the landing, and we say prayers. We pray at the river's edge, and it is profound. We often cry, and we are lots of hugging happening, and it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And yeah, what?
It is indeed.
It is indeed. It is beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Is that it? Is that we have anything else happening?
Not until later.
All right, good. So we'll see you again. Any questions about this? About oils in general? Yeah.
Actually, I just have a comment on that.
Yes.
Some oils are not good for pregnant women or people who have epilepsy. So if you're going to be using them, double check.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what was just said was that there are precautions for, I'm looking at my cameras, I'm sorry, for essential oils. If you're pregnant, if you have epilepsy, if you have anything that you know that can be triggered by a scent, research it before you use it, before you use an essential oil. If you have anything that could be triggered by a scent, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. A lot of sage, not just like, okay, just a little sage, and clary sage is not great for pregnant women. And I noticed that there was a pregnant woman.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Right on. Lavender is really good for pregnant women.
And for kids.
And for kids, yes. Lavender is really good for kids. And I have a couple other oils I'm going to tell you about later. Pregnant ladies. Anything else about the oils?
What is the difference between clary sage and sage? Like, could we use clary sage for this?
No, clary sage is a completely different plant.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
completely
Okay.
different plant. It's actually, clary sage is euphoric. And I would tell people don't drive and sniff. I mean, really, it brings you to a high state of, it's lovely as long as you're home. It's a good sleep aid. And either people love it or they don't, because it has a very intense smell.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did like a menopausal blend.
Ooh,
and that was,
nice.
I think, a part of it with geranium
Ooh.
and something else too. But that's why I was wondering if I could use it here. So no.
No.
We don't want to get those little mosquitoes high.
No.
They like it.
And I didn't mean this to be like an infomercial either. Like, so don't think that you're going to come here and I'm always going to have an infomercial, because that's not my gig. It just so happened that we had it and it was perfect. And it was easy for me, so that's where I went, right? And if you wanted to purchase them here tonight, you would get 10% off the kit tonight too, as a thanks for coming and listening. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, you guys are home. Thanks for watching.